Hey everybody, hello, hello, welcome back to Tutum Talk with Kara Nance. It is so lovely to be with you today, and this is a bonus episode, my first bonus episode. Very exciting, yay for first. And yeah, it's a recording on August 23rd. I will release it on August 23rd, and August 23rd is now a pretty special day for me. Mixed emotions, mixed feelings. And that is the feeling of gratitude and also remembrance. So today is the first anniversary of my beloved pup Schatze St. John, crossing over the Rainbow Bridge and, passing away in the physical. And I believe that all of our loved ones, their soul transforms, that it's a transformation. I've heard that quite a bit in the last couple of years, and especially this year. I know that's not a mistake. That message that what we call death is really a transformation, that it is, I forget which cultures, but there are some cultures that actually celebrate, in the US where I am from, the United States of America. Oftentimes death is, folks have celebrations of life, and it's traditionally more known as a time for sadness and mourning, as an MOURNING. And it's been really powerful to read about and hear about cultures that death is like, yes, that's great, because their soul is now back, in free. Their soul is now free and just like everywhere rather than in one body. And that's been really like, I dig that. I'm down with that. Um so my beloved pub, very long story short, we went on a business trip to one of my longstanding clients out in Wyoming. So I was with them in person in Wyoming for a few days. I am living in North Carolina. I'm a military kid who ended up in Chicago, so that's why I will always say Chicago is sweet home. It's the city that really raised me. Um, and I love to travel. This month, August, it has been 13 years since I've lived in North Carolina, which is also wild. Like, wow, I know time is a social construction, and like 13 years already? Whew, okay. Um, but yeah, when I moved down here, I was like, oh, I can get my dog, because I wanted Shotzi since I was 10 years old, when I held a little golden lab puppy at a pumpkin patch in Wisconsin. Yeah, I was in fifth grade, I think. My fifth grade self, my 10-year-old self was like, this is the best thing ever. Like, when I grow up, I'm gonna get my dog. And fast forward, I did not get her until I was 36 years old, when I moved down to North Carolina. Because it's no disrespect or no shade to folks in the city who have large dogs. I just knew that my dog was going to be a yellow lab, and I didn't want to have her in the city. Like, I just didn't feel aligned for me. So I got her down here from Peak Labs. Shout out to Peak Labs. At the time, there were just two retired ladies trying to save as many dogs as possible, and had a heck of an application process, and still do, which I love. Like, a very uh tedious sounds negative. It was very, very involved, very multi-layered application process to make sure that the fit with the family, with the human in the family, was the best fit for the dog. And I love that. Detailed. There we go. It was a very detailed process. So that's, Shatsy and I know, like, we are, it was in the stars. We were always I believe in divine timing. Nothing is a mistake. No event is a mistake. Even when it's really, really painful, it's all right on divine time. Um, And so back to this time last year, I was on my business trip in Wyoming, having so much fun with my awesome clients out in Wyoming. And yeah, when I left, Schatze, who was just shy of 12 years old, and for a Labrador, that's starting to get up there in age, she had a limp. And I was like, okay, well, she's had limps all her life. Uh, and when I came back Saturday morning, August 23rd, 2025, she could barely walk. I was like, okay, let's let's not completely lose my mind. Let's not completely freak out. Let's put some data into it. And so I told myself, like best case scenario, really inflamed arthritis. Worst case scenario, osteosarcoma, which is bone cancer. And as the day progressed, it was clear that it was time to take her to the urgent vet, the urgent care veterinarian. And when I said that, to the doctor, I was like, yeah, best case, trying to keep my voice light and airy. And yeah, when I said that, best case scenario, arthritis, worst case, osteosarcoma. He just closed his eyes and nodded as soon as I said, when I finished with osteosarcoma, and I just lost it. Yeah. So over this past year, when I've shared her crossing over story, I say very clearly it was the hardest and the easiest and hardest decision I've ever made in my life. And I by the grace of God, I've got some time to go here in this in this gift called life this time around in my soul's journey. And to date, the most difficult decision I've ever made. And easiest, like because she and I made a pact way before we ever met physically that she would never suffer unnecessarily, and why was she suffering? So yeah, so that all happened August 23rd. And as I was thinking about what I wanted to share this morning, I was like, and it is all, I captured it all in Kara's Corner, which I don't talk about a lot here on the pod. I'll bring it back to the surface. So y'all, for those who are enjoying our time together here on the podcast, that's another medium that you can access. And that I realized that I think it was last week. I was like, oh, maybe it was this week. I haven't written any Kara's Corners. It's like a blog on LinkedIn. Yeah, I haven't written any Kara's Corners since Rosh Hashanah, which is the Jewish New Year last year, because it was exactly a month after the first night of Rosh Hashanah was exactly a month after Schatze had crossed over, and it felt once again divinely fitting that her crossing over and on a new moon, which inspired me to look up what's the spiritual significance of crossing on a new moon. And I learned that in the Hindi faith, it's the thinnest veil between our world, through the spiritual world. I was like, ugh, perfect. Like every part of her crossing over was, and it washed over me really how perfect she was in the more like teacher being. Yeah, when she crossed over, I woke up and realized it's like, oh, dogs are angels on four furry legs. Like every single one of them are angels on four furry legs, like or three, or like comes in all different variations, all kinds, right? And I was like, oh, sweet baby puppy angel. Like it wasn't just Shotzi, I was like, every dog is amazing, and animal and creature, but like focusing on the dog. So yeah, you can read more about our time and our journey in Kara's Corner. So that continuing to honor her memory and everything that she taught me, and that dogs in animals in general, and there's something to be said for dogs where, for me anyway, how much Shotzi was, and I'm gonna bring the Clifton Strengths into it, for my dominant theme achiever. Again, that barrier label is work over people. And one of the needs of most achievers, and so I'll use I statements, definitely this achiever, like this person with dominant theme achiever right here. One of the needs is having opportunities to press pause, as in PAUSE, like time out, move away from all of the doing and be that human being, right? We are human beings, not human doings. And Shotzi, it was like clockwork. She knew when, like 5 o'clock when I was working corporate with Pearson. I was a national trainer with Pearson. And at 5 o'clock, it was a wild how it's like she knew my calendar and she knew it's probably the inflection in my voice when I was closing up on Zoom calls or something, but I'm gonna go with her intuitive sense that mama was done. Mom, like it is time to close down that plastic metal thing, which we call a laptop. But for, she was just tuned in and was like, yep, we're done. And so I started to call it pause with the pause. So PAUSE with the PAWS. And I'm a big fan of an alliteration. Um, and it she continually helped me honor my needs of pressing pause, of taking a break. And this practice is really the center of what I'm bringing to you today in this bonus episode. And it's just so cool how all the pieces tie in. It's like, of course, this is Schatze Day um, and everything. And this has been in me for a little over a week and a half. This message, I was like, it just doesn't feel like the right time yet to get it out there and say it to the people. And when yesterday was happening and everything, I was like, okay, and it just came in like that divine download just washed over me. I was like, Schatze Day. That's the day to share this message. And that is that rest is even more important than the work, which sounds counterintuitive. And that's where I'm going to bring in for viewers. You can see I've got my Illinois soccer shirt on. And so audio friends out there, folks listening, you now heard that I'm wearing my Illinois soccer shirt. I actually finished up playing collegiate soccer at Illinois. And so go get them. Best of luck this season, ladies. And when I finished playing, it was fun. I actually played 2 years D3, and then I walked on at Illinois. I was a goalkeeper, and and when I was done playing collegiate soccer, I was like, okay, you've been to 3 different schools in 3 years. Let's earn a degree. Like you did that thing. That's awesome. I also, like, after I finished playing soccer, I got very involved in the GLBT student organization on campus. So, gay, lesbian, bi, trans, ally, queer, questioning, two-spirited. This understanding that the rest and recovery is even more important than the work itself is born from for me, why I understand that so deeply, even though practicing it is still a bit of a curve for me, is so in kinesiology, and especially during the actual workouts, right? So through my experience as an athlete. I also, before I got to Illinois, I was working on my sports medicine, also known as athletic training certification, and my intention was to earn my degree in that discipline. And when I made it onto the team at Illinois, I was informed that because it's a Division I sport, so for folks outside the U.S., it's like the top level that you can play at university at the collegiate level. because of the time constraints, I would not be allowed to continue with my athletic training studies and efforts if I chose to play soccer. So I had to choose either play soccer, stay on the soccer team, or continue with my athletic training, also known as sports medicine career, training, discipline, practice, studies, whatever you want to call it. And my rationale at the age of 20 years old, I was 20 years old, was, well, I can't imagine another time when I'm going to be a Division One athlete. So, and it wasn't even a dream of mine. Like it was so far fetched, that idea, that notion that I would be a Division One athlete. I hadn't ever set my sights on that. Um, and to make it into Illinois, again, for folks who have listened before, maybe you've heard this, so, and I'll share it again. My freshman year high school counselor told me that because I have dyslexia, essentially, I wasn't going to be able to be smart enough to go to college, let alone University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, which is a pretty academically um, strenuous school. We'll leave it at that. So yeah, all of that is like a whole nother podcast by itself. So with this continued theme of rest, that's really where I learned it, was through that athletic training, sports medicine background. My workouts themselves and the coaching and tutelage that I had, I'm so thankful for the mentors I had, especially in the weight room, lifting weights and such, and learning how important that message was sent consistently, that the rest and recovery period is even more important than the workout itself. And because when we're working out, we are literally tearing apart the muscles, and they need time, and hence why nutrition and rest and hydration, all these elements are crucial, so that your body can recover and be even stronger on the other side of that rest, so you can go back at it again and build and build and build, right? Hence why consistency and incremental progress is how it's done. Like, you're not this notion that overnight you're going to hit that mark. That's not how this goes. It's incremental improvement so that you can build on the strengths that you have established the couple days before, and you build on it incrementally. So same thing in business, right? I'm bringing it back up to, where are we, August 23rd, 2026. And me really tuning in to that principle and that truth in this season. And it comes up a bit for me. I do practice the 12-week year, which is an approach to goal setting. And still, it's really powerful to me when I catch myself in a story, a limiting belief that I should or I have to fill in the blank. I will let people down if fill in the blank. And this mainly comes up in me internally, that like that narrative, that story comes up for me in business more and more and more with two-tone leadership coaching, that whoever it is depending on me to get this out, whether they know that I have it on my to-do list or not. That's the other part that cracks me up. Like, I have these notes to myself of like, oh, connect this person, connect this person, connect this person, like all these different people. And they have no idea that they are on the list to get connected with other awesome human beings. So it is very self-imposing. Like, I do this to myself. I honor that, and I get it. And so, like, this laughter that you can probably hear in my voice now is like, it's really, I'm laughing at me to just like have a moment of humor and lightness around this. Like, ah, We did it again. Okay, there it is, which I'm so thankful for that at the age of 48 and I think like 3/4, my birthday's December 15th, that I am getting, I have more and more awareness when these limiting beliefs are surfacing. And for folks who have listened before, I think by now you probably know I'm a really big fan of internal family systems therapy. And I am very clear now that what many folks call limiting belief, for me, it's better for me to understand it. It feels more aligned, that I can actually do something about it when I transform limiting belief to, oh, this is a burdened part, or maybe a couple of burdened parts, a la internal family systems language and understanding and framework. It's like, oh, so these are younger parts of me who learned that I'm letting people down when I don't fill in the blank. Or even more simple language, I'll get in trouble if I don't fill in the blank, do whatever is on my to-do list. It's like, oh, little one, you're not in trouble. It's okay. So it's a great opportunity to practice what they talk about in internal family systems, which is that U-turn, like you literally turn back into you and stay curious. That's where those 8 C's come in with internal family systems, that practice. Like, you're in self-leadership with a capital S when you're experiencing that calm, connection, curiosity, and there's 5 others that start with a C. And I can feel it in my body when I'm like, oh, got it. Yeah, no, we're not. It's okay. We're not going to get in trouble. What do you need? I love that question and that U-turn practice. Like, oh, sweet thing. What do you need? Like, well, and usually it's like, well, we'll make sure we're not going to get in trouble. Like, okay, yeah, no, we're not going to get in trouble. We'll be sure to follow up with whoever it is, right? Whatever the situation is. And then, like, once that promise is made, that pact is made, it's like, okay, and now what do you need? It's like to play darts with friends or something, like it's something fun and playful. Is usually what is coming up next. Like, oh well, it would be really fun to go do this fun thing, rather than work, as in sending out that email like, okay, let's go do that fun thing, or let's figure out how we can do that fun thing. And then, okay, what else feels good? What else feels good? And so the other layer to this, so Shotzi crossed over August 23rd, last year. And then the other element to this time is that my younger brother, Devin Atlee Nance, passed. He passed away or transitioned, June 20th, 2007, and his birthday is August 26th, 1980. So it's this time last year when Shotzi was, crossing over. Um, it was beautiful, even in real time, as the veterinarian team is prepping her for, euthanasia, basically, for putting her to sleep. Realizing the timing of all this, and that, wow, Devin gets to have his dog, like, my mom actually, yeah, I let family know, close loved ones, that Shotzi was gonna cross over. Cancer is the reason. And my mom's text back was, Devin will catch her, you know? And I love that so much, that because Devin and I write this all in the Kara's Corner, which I'll put in the show notes, the link, so you don't have to go hunt it down on LinkedIn. I mean, feel free, but you know, I prefer the ease of a link myself, so that'll be in the show notes. And I love that he got his dog for his birthday because he was the biggest dog lover I have ever known. It was really something, to the point where my mom and he went to the pet shelter to, I don't even know why they went, but he wanted a dog. And what ended up happening was the cat Cinderella came home. And like the sad irony that like Cinderella was awesome and like all Devin ever wanted was a dog and he got a cat, like in this mortal experience here. So I'm so thankful that Shatsy's like, I'm going to Uncle Devin. Like, I get it. Like you go girl, and they are very much my I have so many angels, and they're very much my like tag team angels for sure. um so yes, I I know this message of rest is even more important than the work because of what I feel in my body this time around, where every year is just my body remembers that this is approaching Devin's birthday, and now the Schatze layer. And it's yes, a celebration of a life, and like let's really tune into what we need. Let's that we don't whatever that is beautiful. And sometimes it is hanging with friends and being in the act of celebrating life. And sometimes it is staying home and putting my phone on silent, if not turning it off all the way after reaching out to family, like sending you love, hugs, kisses, um, and going to a lake. That was very much when Shatsi was here physically. Water just calms me. I feel grounded and connected even more so to our beautiful Mother Earth when I'm around water. And it was really beautiful to honor Devin, both June 20 and his birthday, was going to the lake with Shotzi, and just she loved pine cones, which was hilarious. When she was a puppy, I bought her all these toys, and what she gravitated towards were pine cones, which are free from the trees and everywhere in North Carolina. I was like, you have got to be kidding me, and this is hilarious. Like, heard, noted, wonderful. Like, thank you for your, you know, helping out with the home finances, child. I appreciate you. So it always made it easy. Like just find a pine cone or a stick. And she was simple pleasures, right? Like she was on cloud nine with those simple pleasures, which is also a beautiful teaching. So bringing this all together, 10 days ago, I was like, oh, well, that's easy math. August 13th, a new friend of mine, a good buddy, I was invited to be a part of her family, like her birthday celebration, which was just small family time. So beautiful, so present. And she even requested no presents. So I love that the presence is the present. And when the day was coming up, August 13th, I was like, something about August 13th. And yes, I had buddies coming in from Chicago. Her dad's over in Wilmington, so which is on the east coast of Carolina. So I, I also knew it's like even though it's only for a day, I could feel in my body like I just want to be with my friends. How important it is in the season, and sometimes it's like, well, driving 3 hours to the beach and driving 3 hours back the next day, sometimes for my body, I do my best more and more these days to truly honor how it feels in my body. So there is the narrative of like, well, that's irresponsible because, or like, what are those cliches of like, is the squeeze worth the juice? We'll go with that. And some folks would say like, that's a whole lot of squeeze and not a lot of juice. But for me, that time right there, and for my intuition, for my gut to say yes so strongly, like, yeah, and and this time last year, actually July last year, I really learned that yes for me is like a how it feels in my body isn't charged energy, which is really interesting. It's like it's calm. It's that it doesn't even sound or feel like a full yes. It's just like, yeah, like it just is. And that's how it felt in my body. when it was Wednesday afternoon, and I had that 3-hour drive ahead of me to go to the beach to have breakfast with my Chicago friend the next morning. So drive out August 12th for 3 hours, wake up early, drive another hour and 40 minutes to Wilmington, have breakfast, and drive back on the 13th for my friend's birthday in Chapel Hill. And so on paper, that looks like a whole lot for very little. And for me, it's like, no, my relationships are really important to me. And this was a moment, a window where I was able, like, it felt right. And yeah, and it was like each experience was so enriching. And I would also give a tip of the hat and a thank you to the Friends Beach House who I was able to stay in on August 12th. I'm also in that moment of gratitude of, golly, I'm so blessed. I feel very lucky. And I also know this isn't for no reason. It's also because I love giving I love sharing and giving what I'm able to give and share. And so I know that what we put out, we receive, or have the opportunity to receive. What we give, we have the opportunity to receive. And that is part of the flow. If we don't receive the bounty, if we don't receive the blessings, we're blocking the flow. And so I'm sharing in real time with you. These are some tangible examples of recent. And like, I have had blessings, I've had bounty before me, and I could have been like, oh, well, no, I don't want to impose. Like, actually, when I've done that in the past, that's me blocking my blessing. And I can feel God being like, okay, well, if you can't handle that, then I'm going to give you a smaller blessing and build you up so that you're then ready for the next level of blessing. So I now understand better. I have learned, like, oh, receive and be grateful, like just say thank you to the person, to the human, and to God, to the source, to higher power, whatever that is for you. Like, wow, this is so cool. Like a kid in a candy shop, like, oh, this is awesome. Thank you so much. I'm ready for the next, and enjoy it. Enjoy the moment. Like, be present in the moment because it is the present, right? It is the gift. And so August 13th, to close out that circle, right? I've got you a little open looped on that. Like, why was August 13th so present on my heart? And so it's like, golly, there's just something about August 13th. And the day happens. It was so beautiful to have all those adventures. And then this past Sunday, so that was 14, 15, 16, I think it was the 16th Sunday, I was going through Facebook. And I'm not on Facebook a whole lot. So friends out there, if you try to reach out to me on Facebook, like, just email me or reach out to me on LinkedIn. You're going to have a much higher success rate when you do that. I'm not on Facebook a whole lot. And Sunday I was cruising through old pictures, and I saw the picture of friend Christina Santiago. It did, honoring her crossing over date, when she passed away. The day that she passed away was August 13th. I was like, oh, that's right. And it's been, gosh, she was one of the folks um, who lost her life uh, during the Sugarland concert in Indiana. I forget exactly where in Indiana, but the storm came through really fast and the stage collapsed, and she was one of the folks who got crushed by the stage. And so, like, so fast, like the whole thing, like when your world just changes on a dime. Similar to how I felt when Devin passed away. My younger brother was like your world just in an instant changes. And I think that was 2010, maybe 2011. And so I friends, I have a couple of loved ones who are like, "Wow, you're just really good with dates." I'm like, "Well, I also put them in the calendar." Like, I remember things because I also put it in the calendar. Thanks to being a goalie and some basketball. I played basketball for quite a few years, and 1 year collegiately. Um, Played college basketball as well. So, and my concussions, the point with all that and memory and calendar and dates, are the amount of concussions I've had were majority because I was a goalkeeper, and quite a few moments where my head was mistaken for the ball. So, but just, like it happens. And this was, I played before the concussion protocols were as specific as they are now, which I'm very thankful that those protocols exist. Um, I'm a big fan of neurofeedback. I feel like I'm pulling aside for just a second for a public service announcement. Neurofeedback is amazing, different from biofeedback. Go check it out, especially if you've had concussions. Highly recommended. So back to the point. But yeah, I hadn't put Christina's pass away date in my calendar. And so with time and things shifting and all that, I just lost track of it. And yeah, I was like, oh, right. And it really came to a head, me having this moment of realizing another layer of that narrative of, you'll let people down. What's also in there, so the limiting belief, right, burden part, like, well, we don't want to let people down. Layers on top of that, as I've grown older, is by the grace of God, I'm still physically here, and not everybody who I have loved in this lifetime is physically here anymore. And this way of being where I sometimes lean into unconsciously until I catch it. The story is, well, you have to make the most of the time you have here, because those loved ones who have passed on, especially folks like Christina at such a young age, were hurt. Like, she was crushing it in her career, right? Like, she's doing things, right? And then her light burnt out, right? Like, extinguished. Her life and her ability to contribute to humanity no longer an option. And so I caught myself when I realized this part about, like, oh yes, I got to honor life with my friends going to the beach, and then my new friend's birthday party, and to be a part of such a beautiful celebration with our family. What an honor to be with her family and with her on her birthday. And I'm going to do a quick shout out. And my friend, my new friend, her husband is an awesome chef as well. So, like, it's always so delicious to also just hang out at their places. Like, ooh, one of my favorite restaurants. I've got two good friends who they're trained chefs, professional chefs, and I say that they are my favorite restaurants in those two homes. So there's that element too. But in all sincerity, like, getting back to that way of being that I have learned over the years, that not everybody's able to um, live into their gift anymore because they aren't physically here. They have crossed on. I have created pressure on myself. I have transformed that into pressure on myself to go, 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 and not honor the rest. Subconsciously, it's like being in the undertow in the ocean, in the sea, where it's like, whoa, I just get swept up in this, and then I almost come to, like, I'm unconscious, and I come to and become conscious of what's going on. I'm like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, yes, it's important to honor the life that we have, this gift called life. And as we learned in our sports medicine training, in athletic training and kinesiology and and all that, um, that the rest is even more important. The rest and the recovery is even more important than the workout. And in this case, doing the thing, saying the thing. And yeah, I've got a quote here in my notes. It's when this was pouring out of me, make the most. So this is that, not limiting belief, but the message that doesn't serve me, the way of being that doesn't serve me always, where it becomes not healthy for me in the moment, and what drives it, the message that drives it is quote unquote within myself is make the most of life because others can't. Ooh, because they've passed away. It's like, whoa. So that part right there, um, I was able to be with and create space for within myself. And what came up to the surface after that was, okay, I get to let myself off the hook. Like, give myself grace and patience that I, I'm doing great. I, that rest and that recovery, as we know, is just as important, if not more important, than the work itself. And it doesn't dishonor our loved ones who have passed on. In fact, I know Devin, Christina, my grandparents, right, my uncles, Schatze, they all, and gosh, so many countless other folks. I know that they all are. There's a scene in Star Wars where the Jedis who have crossed on, but they're like holograms on the tree, and that's what I envision in these moments, where they're just all celebrating and saying like, yes, please take a break. It's not even a break. Like, this is a part of it. Nature also doesn't produce all the time. Let's go back to square one. You need the rest in order to generate the fruit. Like, the seeds that you are planting and nourishing through your business, you are also a seed that needs nourishing and rest and recovery and hydration. Yay for water and consuming water. Thank God for clean water. I'm so thankful. And yeah, like, just take a beat, kid. And not even take. You get to have it. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the pause. And even though going now full circle, I don't have the pause, meaning Schatze, how important it is to still enjoy that pause and be present in that present moment with that timeout. Like, and keep honoring what that body, what my body's saying and that self-care is saying. And I encourage you to do the same. Yeah. That I'm looking over my notes here. I'm like, yeah, that's it. That's the stuff right there. So, on that note, I'm so thankful you joined me for my bonus episode here. I was reminded from a good friend that I also have not shared them. When you go to tutumleadershipcoaching.com, you can sign up for the latest updates from Tutum Leadership Coaching, which comes with the bonus gift of my top 5 leadership tips. So, and carving out some time for you for rest and recovery is one of those tips. So I won't give it all away. I won't take away the joy from you to receive those yourself and have them handy for you. It comes in a PDF version, so you can bring it with you, copy and paste, and bring it with you wherever you go, so that it's a reminder to honor those pieces as you navigate your leadership journey. And remember again that leadership isn't about the title itself. As John Maxwell teaches, leadership is influence, and we all have influence, so therefore we all have leadership in us. So how are we, what ways are we being true stewards of that divine gift of leadership in wherever we are in the circles that we're in? So in our sphere of influence and in our orbit. So, all right, my friends, I miss you already. I'm so thankful you are here. Truly an honor to be with you, and I do pinch myself. I'm gonna give one more quick shout out because I've been sharing with folks when I'm in conversation with them. Tip of the hat to all of you listening, and I have access to, like analytics or whatnot, and I don't know how this compares with other podcasts, and I'm not interested in comparing. The competition theme for me on my Clifton Strengths is super low. I don't have it. I was gonna pull it up. I don't have it immediately accessible. It's over like on the other table. I'm not gonna go get it. And I know that competition, it doesn't nourish me. I'm not energized by competing with other people. I am very competitive with myself, with that achiever theme that really drives my self competition. I always want to be better at my craft, no matter what that craft is. And when I look at the analytics, the stats, the statistics, if you will, it's not actual statistics, but the data around the podcast, the listenership, through the Transistor. Shout out to Transistor. That's the platform that I use that distributes all the podcasts. So if you're interested in starting a podcast and you're like, which platform do I use? I highly recommend Transistor. Shout out. And thank you, Riverside, for this awesome platform as well for the video component. And Riverside has so many other features. I just happen to use this part. So check out Riverside as well. Digress. Where was I going with all that? Oh yeah, competition. Shout out to folks listening. A very strong contingency in Tokyo. Hi, how you doing? Wow, very cool. I have yet to visit Tokyo, so hey, I can pack my bags, get that passport all up and ready. Where else? Vietnam, a bunch of different places. I think called provinces. I'm not sure. I apologize. Once again, I have yet to be physically to Vietnam, so that would be cool. So thank you. I'm going through the list in my mind of like the like top 10 countries, and all of you listening. I'm so grateful. And this is after the United States. So United States, appreciate you. You're tuning in strong. And right after that, Tokyo. Very strong, very strong listening community to Tutum Talk in Tokyo. Great amount of listening in Vietnam. Who else? Where else? Philippines, Great Britain. Hello, South Africa. How you doing? Yeah, it's wild. And so many more, but like each time I'm in, like, really? Tokyo. Cool. So I just having a moment. And I'm so grateful for all of you. And I have chuckled recently where folks are like, would you travel to be with a client? Like, yes. Yes, please. I love traveling. As my mom calls it, it's just Kara being Kara. I love being out in the world and being with the people. So appreciate you. All right, my friends. Wrapping this one up. Be sure to take care of you in the form of rest, because it's as nature teaches us, it is what is needed to produce the awesomeness that we have to give to the world so we can keep shining our light even brighter. All right, my friends. I miss you already, and I'll see you at the next one. Mwah. Bye.
I know you have a lot of options on how you carve out your day and spend your time, and I'm honored that you decided to spend some time here today at Tutum Talk. Remember that leadership, it isn't something that we master once. It's something we grow into, moment by moment. My hope is that today offered you a little more clarity, a little more courage, and a reminder that you're not leading alone. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it with someone who might need it too. And remember, confidence doesn't come from having all the answers. It grows from connection, curiosity, and the courage to keep showing up. I'm Karen Nance, and this has been Tutum Talk, exploring leadership in the everyday and beyond.
I realized I forgot to say one more thing. Hug your dog for me, please. Or however much they allow you to hug them. I know each one has their own unique way of being. And thanks for hugging your dog for me. Folks used to tell that to me all the time when Schatze, was physically on Earth, and I always found it such an interesting thing to request. I was like, okay, love done, Schatze. And as soon as she crossed over, I was like, oh, I get it. Yes. So hug your dog for me, please. Mm. All right, my friends. I love you. I'll see you at the next one. Mwah.